Hey everyone, Ekman here with another video, and we finally have all of the cards revealed for the second set of the Fusion World card game. They were uploaded to the Bandai website earlier this week, and then also they have been updated on my own deck builder here on Eggman Events, so you guys can check out all of the cards that are coming out in set 2, which I'm really excited about. And today, in this video specifically, we're going to be talking about red for this set. We're going to be talking about the other colors as well in the next couple of days, but wanted to start off with that one as well. So we're going to go over not every card that was revealed or will be in the set, but kind of the key ones that I think are kind of important, and then also just an example deck list using the new leader, the Tournament Power Goku as well, since he's kind of pretty integrated with a lot of cards in this, and the Tournament Power tag got a lot of cards in the set too. So that's kind of the idea. Let's go over some cards real quick, and then again we'll go over an example deck list too. So going through this, so what does this Goku do one more time in case you guys don't know? When attacking, draw 1 and then awaken when your life is at 3 or less instead of the regular 4 or less. You get to draw a card and flip it over. And then on the back side, it has when attacking, get to draw 1. It's a 20k leader. And also activate main once per turn for 1. Discard 1 card from your hand. Play up to 1 battle card with 20k power or less and tournament power and its special traits from your hand. So it's a little bit costly to discard a card as well, but being able to play something for cheaper is usually pretty nice. And generally, like we've seen like a couple of okay targets for this already, but with the final dump of cards for red, we do see a couple additional good ones that I think are very strong. So I think it's great for what this deck looks like. And let's go over what a couple of cards. We're just going to go through it. We've already talked about also the super rares. I think they're all pretty good in their own way. Specifically Kefla, I think this one's going to be probably the best one generically for this leader. Since it's a 4 cost, 20k, on play you get to draw a card, then play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less and tournament power and its special traits from your hand. So it's pretty easy for you to do that as well. And there are some really good 3 or less tournament power cards that we ended up getting. Specifically, it doesn't have the same restriction of 20k or less, which is important for some cards that we're going to see. It's a 25k as long as you're awakened on both turns, which is great. But it's still 20k in your hand, so you can play it off your leader effect. And just the cycle, it's great. And it's a 10k for some reason. I would totally think that this could be a 5k as well since it draws, but it is underneath the power curve is just a 20k, even though most times it's going to be a 25k in this deck. Sun Gohan is kind of like a bigger version of Hit. It's Universe 7, it's Tournament Power, so all those tags are great. And it's a 3 cost, so it's something you play off Kefla, all your leader effect. And then we also have Aandroidd 17. It's a 25k, so you can't play it off the leader effect, but you can play it off Kefla. Honestly, I think this card is better in other Red Universe 7 leaders. Goku itself, the Tournament Power of 1, I don't think he gets as much value as something like maybe Beerus can get, or even like the starter Goku. But this is still just an okay card. I just don't think it's optimized for this guy. So those cards are good. We've already kind of talked about them, but I wanted to just kind of mention them as well as obviously good cards. But going down, we're just going to go through cost level. And again, there are some other cards that maybe are good in this set, but these are the ones that caught my eye. We got the obvious ones. We got Basil. Look top 5 of your cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 non-Basil card with cost of 4 or less and tournament power and special traits. Add it to your hand. You get to place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order. So, or sorry, in a random order. So just, a 1-drop that searches pretty good. There's some pretty great cards for you, specifically like being able to find your Keflas early. It's 4 or less, so you can't find any super combos with this card, but it's still very good in that regard. We also have Piccolo, which is just a better version of the of more trait. It's Namekian God Universe 7 Tournament Power. Better than Roshi because it doesn't look like the other one, so that's fine, but it's essentially the same thing with more tags. It's not an Earthling, but otherwise pretty good. And then we also have 1-drop Frieza. I think this will be better in like Universe 7 Goku, but permanent your turn if your leader is awakened. This gets plus 5k power. So with the Universe 7 Goku, becomes 25k power, which means you get free pressure on Broly. 25 is better than 20k obviously, and I think that's just very strong for this. And then even like other Gokus, like the regular like Star Deck Goku, this could be a 20k in this. I think it's fine as a card as well. So it's Frieza, Universe 7 Tournament Power, all good things. But I think Universe 7 Goku specifically likes this card. We have, I'm going to mispronounce it, Quitella. It has an on-play, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power less and you get to KO it. So if you're playing in Beerus, if you give something minus 10k, you can pop a 25k or less, which is pretty good for 2 energy. I don't know if it's going to be good enough for that deck. There's not like searching for either Universe 4 or God and Destruction in particular, but it could be a moderately good like low-cost tempo play if you want to in that deck. We also have Ganos. I don't know how I feel about this card. It's very weird. It's a 20k 3-drop permanent. This card gets plus 25k power while it's in battle with an opponent's battle card. So battle card only, but if you're attacking into a battle card, you're a 45k body. So that's very strong. However, it is a 0 combo, which is kind of rough. It's Universe 4, which is not like one of the most flexible universes in this game right now. It is tournament power, so you could play this off Goku for free. If this had like a 5k counter and it was like plus 20k, it would probably be really solid. But it was with that 0 combo, it's a bit of a liability in your hand. So I don't know how I feel about this. This might be busted. If you're playing like Star Deck Goku, where you could defend this card a little bit easier, it would be great. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel this card. It's very weird. It's very unique. We also have Katsu Pesla, 20k, it's a 10k counter as well. On play, when attacking, and when KO'd, which is literally the first time I've seen all three of those as like an auto for this card game or any other Bandai card game, which is really interesting. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. So if you play it and then you attack with it, you get to give something minus 10k. So that's fine. And then if they attack into it, you can give something else minus 5k. Generally speaking, I think that this Gohan is just better in like every way, besides being a 5k counter. So like the 10k counterpart is like the part of it that matters, but I think this Gohan is just better, especially since it's a Universe 7, which is generally better too. But it's an interesting card. I want to mention it. It looked really interesting. We also have Kefla. On play, if your leader's awake, can draw 1, so not too terrible. It just means that if we were playing with the Son Goku, 1, it could just be played off leader effect. So you played this for 1 because you discard a card, but you get to cycle, which is generally just good to cycle. But we could also play something like it off Kefla too. So like you draw 2 and you play 2 20k bodies and one's actually 25. So that's not too bad. We have the Son Goku. We can't play it off our leader effect, but we can play it off the Kefla. It's just a 25k crit, which is not terrible, especially if we play it on curve. 25k means that your opponent's going to have to spend some kind of resources to get rid of this kind of thing. It is a 5k counter, so it's a little bit rough, but if it stays able to stay on the board and keep attacking with it, it's good. It's Universe 7 as well, so U7 Goku being able to play a 30k crit for 3 is really strong. And even like Star Deck Goku could appreciate this guy too, so not too bad in where it is. We also have this Kale, another interesting card. So it's a 3-drop 35k, but it has permanent opponent's turn. This gets minus 20k power. So it's a Saiyan Universe 7 tournament power. You can't play it off your leader effect, but you can play it off Kefla. So I think that's kind of interesting just for that case. There's also just like a lot of weird times when you just need to go for game, and being able to say, you know what, I'm going to play this Kale for 3 as a 35k. Why not, right? Why would this be a bad idea for this? So I think that's okay. I think it's worth testing in some regard. If it's bad, it's bad. But in the game, in like kind of what we've been experiencing in the set 1 meta, cards generally don't live the cards sometimes have a hard time living to see another turn. So it doesn't really matter that it goes down to a 15k because it's still got its 35k boost, right? And then if you're Star Deck Goku, you can make this 40k very easily. I think that this has potential to be a good card, but it's a very weird card. So I think again, like it could be like an okay target to play off Kefla. You get the cycle, you get to play a 35k, and then obviously if your opponent's at 1, this card's very good because it can really pressure your opponent very nicely and be a really good final attack. So I think it has potential. We'll see if that's true or not, but I think it's worth looking at. Probably the best card that was hidden away in this reveal is probably this rebrand. Maybe it's not, but it's just a 20k double strike. But that's very good. That's very good in decks like this, especially where a lot of like aggression and tempo. Being able to have this 20k double strike, that's 1 of 4 costs that we can play off our leader. It's a 10k combo, which means that it's never like dead in hand. There can just be like some really, really good scenarios where this can just be played off our leader effect for cheap. We can get some cycle effects, and then we just kind of win the game. So I think that's something that's really potential. Like this rebrand can be very strong. And yeah, if your opponents they get 2 and feel like they're safe, this can kind of open them up in a lot of ways. Lastly, we got 3 extra cards. We have Saved by a Barrier. This one's kind of unique. Actually, opponent's turn, choose your leader up to one of your battle cards. It gives plus 20k power for the battle. Then if the chosen card is a battle card, it can be KO'd in battle for the turn. If this said it was protected by can't be KO'd for the turn, I think it would make sense and it wouldn't be as bad. But it's just kind of a weird thing. I don't think there's a lot of scenarios where my opponent's spending more than 20k to get rid of one of my bodies. It does mean I can get out of stuff for free, but it's just I don't think it's going to be used that much. I don't know. If this was in like yellow, like there's a bunch of extra cards that got popped or got released that if it was in like the yellow Vegeta leader, I'd be like a little bit more happy for it since you get the 2 energy back every turn. But I don't know about this one. This one just seems okay. I don't think we'll see how much like battle matters in the future, but I don't think that this one's going to be good. We also have Clash of the Strongest. I feel like this card is bait. I don't think this card is good. It looks like it should be really good, but it's not because it's a lot to set up, but it could be good. It says activate main, choose all your battle cards with tournament power in their special traits, and they get plus 10k power for the turn. So if you have like 3 bodies, you can give it like plus 30k off 2, which is good. It just depends on how consistently we're able to get 3 bodies on board that are all tournament power. Because otherwise it's just kind of dead in our hand and there's no like way to use it outside of using the 2 energy for it. But we're also a deck that gets the benefit of being able to make cheaper plays. So for example, if we played like Kefla and like played Kale, and then we have a 25-35, we spend 2 energy. Hey, guess what? We have a 35 and a 45, right? So that's like not terrible for you, but that's a 3 energy play to make those 2 bodies, right? So it's probably fine. It just seems like it's really inflexible, and it just depends if we can make a really wide board of tournament power cards, which I think is going to be a little bit trickier than it sounds. Like we thought like Universe 7 Goku was going to be really good because it gives plus 5k to all of your Universe 7 cards. But at the end of the day, it was probably only boosting like 1 or 2 cards on average every turn, which means like Star Deck Goku was more consistent, which is why I think that was doing better towards the end of the first set. So if it's kind of the same thing, I can see this card being bad, but maybe there's like an OTK strat for it. It just seems kind of cheesy. And then lastly, Glimpse of a Hidden Arrogance. I could be this could probably be my coping card. I think this card is actually really good. I think this card has some real potential to be strong. Mostly because we are using our leader effect to play stuff out for cheaper, which means that we have more accessibility for energy. And so we can use, like, let's say we're at 4 energy, right? We'll use the effect of our leader. So we'll go down to 3, we'll play a Kefla and something else. We had to discard a card. But then we also have this Glimpse of Hidden Arrogance where we could put this one, if this could be put on Rebrand, which it can be, but if it does, we become a 45k double strike that also grabs a 10k combo from our drop too. So honestly, this becomes a 35k for 2 energy because you get to add a 4 or less to your hand. Additionally, there could be some scenarios where you need to find another Kefla, and you need to do that. You can even need to find like a Rebriand. So like the fact that this finds most cards in our deck, I think is very good and helps us out in a lot of ways. So especially if we're trying to go for the game turn, we could use like Roshi to make this cost 1. I think this card is really good. I think this card has some real potential. This could be my cope card, but I think this card is maybe underrated. We'll see if that's true or not. It could just be too expensive at 2 energy, but if we're playing this deck as I think we will, where we just kind of establish some big bodies for low energy, this can be on offense or defense, and it's very easy for this to grab additionally another 10k or whatever card we need to finish out our turn, and it can be very powerful because of that. So we'll see if that's true or not, but I think I have some hope that this card is good. So anyways, those are kind of the main cards we want to talk about. If you want to look at any of the other cards, they are on my website, Eggman Events, which is linked below. There's a couple other ones that I maybe didn't go over, but I think those are kind of like the main ones I want to talk about. So anyways, let's go to the example deck list here, and this is the one that I have. Minimal testing for this one, but I think the deck could be in a good spot, so I did want to kind of mention it. So let's kind of go over it. We have again our Son Goku effect. Going to the bottom end, we do have like 3 copies of Basil, 4 copies of Master Roshi. Again, this is like one of the best Awakeners in this game. It's Earthling, it's Universe 7. The fact that it's a 10k combo is kind of absurd as well. And then also add specifically 1 card from your life to your hand during the turn. The next time you use an extra card from your hand, you get to reduce this cost by 1 red, which means you can use like this for 1, or you can use this for free, which is good for either the activate main or the activate Activate Battle as well. There's a lot of great cards we can find Universe 7 wise that helps us out here, including like Roshi, including super combos and everything else. So also just like our turn 3 play of either Sun Gohan Adolescence or the Sun Goku super rare. You can also find Glimpse of Hidden Arrogance. There's also like some weird spots where like you can use this effect. You can have Roshi use its effect, attack, use Glimpse of a Hidden Arrogance to make this a 30k attack for no good reason for 1 energy technically. And you'd also meet the conditions of having a 30k power or more, meaning that you would be able to draw the card from your trash too. So I think that's something that's really strong for this and can help convert your Roshis into like some really good plays as well, because you're always going to want to take these Roshi effects and go from there. So I'm going to put this as 2. I almost want to put this at 3 or 4 copies. We'll see if that's enough for it, but we'll leave it there. Piccolo 4 copies. Again, it's a draw card that's also tournament power, so we get some extra cycle. Like it can be found by Basil, which is nice. We have Khalifa, which we didn't really go over this card on the other side, but it's crit on play. Add 1 card from your life to your hand, so it's a 25k, or it's a 20 crit that draws you a card from life, which is very good. Hit kind of the same thing, but giving minus 5k. Both are Universe 6, but only Khalifa is a tournament of power. We have the 3-drop Kefla, and kind of the rest of the pieces there. So Shin we're using because it's a super combo that can be found off of Assemble Representatives Universe 7. And we have so many Self-Awakeners in this deck. We have 12 plus 8. We have 16 or 20. We have 20 Self-Awakeners with this. So that might be a little bit high. And the reason that the number is so high is because there's a bit of a worry that we have to get down to 3 life. So we need to be able to take cards from our life consistently to get there, which again, why I think Roshi is really, really important for this deck. Because then once we're at 3 life, we get to use our leader effect more often, which means we get to get a lot of advantage. Again, just being able to play Kefla out, Kefla being able to play either a Sun Gohan Adolescence, another Kefla, which draws you a card immediately, being able to play like even Kale, which I don't know if this card is good yet. I have some thoughts. We'll see if they're true or not, but all of that I think is very strong. This is kind of more of like a mid-range aggro deck variant because we're not playing any hard removal, which I don't think is going to get like, we can get rid of a 20k power less, or if we have Sun Gohan out, a 35. So we do have some potential for some removal too. Even at 4 energy, we can do something where we use like Kefla's effect, play off leader, be able to play Kefla, then Sun Gohan Adolescence, attack with Sun Gohan Adolescence. That's 25k because of the permanent, and then we can play Sun Gohan or Sun Goku from our hand to get a pop of a 35k. So there are some potentials for removals there. Hit also gets you there. If you want to get some 2-cost Fuas, I think they're fine there too. And we might have some deck space open if Kale or Glimpse of a Hidden Arrogance is bad as well. But that's kind of like my first build for this. I'm excited to do more testing with it, and honestly just to get into this meta in general. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of this deck. If this deck is trash, please let me know. Send me your own link in the your own deck in the description or in the comments if you want to check them out, or if you want me to check them out for you guys and give my thoughts for those too. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it.